Hello guys, it is now our time and you, the one Benjamin Zulu, is here ready to serve you wisdom as hot as it is. All right? Now, have you ever thought of your own friends actually wrecking your own marriage? I know you've heard a lot about that. I know you've read a lot about that. But now, the most pertinent question is, how do we allow this to happen? Up to what extent do we give this kind of freedom to actually allow people into our marriages? Always remember, the power that people have against you is the power that they will use to distract you and to destroy anything that you have, not alone marriage. Now today on this show, we are talking about how your friends can ruin your marriage. With one Benjamin Zulu, and is already set. Boiling.
Very much boiling. Because
Yes.
especially, let's start with men.
Yes.
I want you to make sure, because you are likely to marry from your friendships. You're likely to marry from people you connect fast as friends. Even if you are searching for a woman, there should be that basic connection as a friend.
Yes.
So I want your minimum qualification for the people you can talk, share time, meet up over these. Let it be those people of your kind.
Okay.
I'm coming to the controversial, touchy issues. I'm laying the foundation. Because people think when you're being selective, you're being discriminative.
Yeah.
And I'm coming to tell you that again, nobody is your responsibility. You pick the ones you flow with.
Mm-hmm.
The ones you did not pick, you're not judging them or discriminating them. That's their life. You're looking the ones you can do life with. Okay?
Yeah.
And let's start by asking men. One of them told me that the girlfriend, the fiancé, they're planning to do a wedding. The fiancé has another guy friend from before. And they are close, they spend a lot of time together. Sometimes she switches off the phone when she's with that guy. She lies when they're being together. She hides and plays it down and insists that this has been my friend. And the guy is here confused. What would you tell that guy? We're talking about interference. What friends can do to your relationships. What influence they have over your relationships. But the funny thing I want to surprise you is that friends only have as much power to your relationship according to how much you give them. How much you value your relationship, your marriage versus your friendships.
Yeah.
This guy, I told him a very clean, simple answer. There are women who are looking for husbands and they are not willing to be a wife.
Very much true.
If you understand that, you stop domesticating wild things. I don't get it. People are trying to marry wild women. Anybody who is not willing to adjust their lives to become married, they're not ready to be a husband.
Yeah.
There are many people who want a wife. The benefits that come from having a wife.
A wife.
The benefits that come from having a husband. Having the name that they have a home, or they have a Babawatoto, they have the benefits, the protection, the money, the sex, the package, not the cost.
Mm-hmm.
They want the benefits, but not the transformation. Marriage brings both benefits and burdens.
Yeah.
You have to pay the cost to get the benefits. Mm-hmm. The cost involves adjusting your friendships to make sure you don't have to dismiss them, but your marriage comes first. That is the difference. Mm-hmm. That is the difference. Whatever has to conflict with my marriage, I always choose my marriage first. Okay? I can never lie to my spouse so that I can be with friends. I cannot ignore her to be with my friends. When she has a situation, I have to rush to her aid. I rather spend time with her when it's needed than be with friends. If I'm not ready to do that, I have no business getting married.
Yeah.
Not everybody looking for a partner is ready to get married.
Get married. Yeah.
Many of them want the benefits. If you can swallow this, you can relieve yourself. Sorry. So one guy, this morning now, told me this girl is older than him. Did we state the rules for marrying people who are older than you?
No. Please help us understand. Give us the rules.
When you marry, you're doing a negotiation. In fact, I want you to treat dates secretly as a negotiation.
Okay.
Secretly. On the surface, it's a friendly meeting. Meeting of friends. But underneath, you're adding up. Brother. Okay. And then you tally. Very quickly, you add up the score and see whether it's worth it. My brother. That's why I told you to keep your zip locked so that your head can think straight and add up the points. So if the lady is older than you, that's a minus.
Okay.
You can marry her. I'm coming to that. But if she's older than you, you already know there's a compromise you're likely to face later in life. We will determine whether it's worth it or not, according to the following points now. When you start, there's nobody who is a straight line. Most relationships will have a wrinkle. Most relationships with a twist. A twist. It's about weighing the pros and cons. Is she still worth it? When I've weighed everything. Older than you, she has a child. You have to adapt that child and play father to somebody who's not your blood. It's a minus point. People keep arguing, maybe it's not a burden, but it was, it is. My brother, don't get too emotional, you forget to reason.
Yeah.
A baby is a responsibility. Are we together?
Yeah.
You church brothers, hello? You like being so nice. Praise the Lord, sister. Actually, there's no problem. Can you do the math before you start being too appeasing? Do the math. So we are scoring our cards under the table. 3 years older than me, -1. Already have a baby, -1. Now, the determiner that will tell you, I could have happily married a woman older than me. I could have happily married a girl with a child. I pursued one. You have heard me say several.
Yeah.
But the determiner is your connection, the two of you, the value she adds, the kind of woman she is, the kind of influence she has on your life, the depth of your conversations, the insight. How is the kind of person she makes you into, who you are when you are with her.
Okay.
Brother, can you factor that? -6, okay?
Yeah.
Not who you are when you're on top of her. My brother. Me, I'm saying when you're with her, like a friend. Does she make you make better decisions? Do you go home energized, man? After you talk, do you see the world differently? Do you feel psyched up? Do you think wider? Never leave a woman who makes you a better man, think better, laugh more, enjoy life, feel easier, or eases your life. Now, when she's that kind of woman, you can marry when she's older than you. When she has a child, you can marry. That is worth anything. Swallow that.
Okay.
Because the world will argue. Don't judge, that's why I told you. You don't know what they wanted. Some people got kids through being manipulated, through being raped.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Those who got kids through that, you will hear the story and you'll know she did not even choose.
Yeah.
She was trapped. Actually, we are happy she's healthy. Okay. So it was unfortunate. All right? Those kind of people, it was not a choice. She was not even there emotionally. All right?
Yeah.
And you cannot even evaluate anything about it. You say you congratulate her for stepping up to the situation and not succumbing to bitterness and depression and for overcoming it. But majority of the other human beings, it was not rape. Aye. You guys like softening things. No, you church brothers, let me make you uncomfortable. Let people carry their burdens. When you decide, carry your cross.
Yeah.
By now, we know from biology that sex can lead to pregnancy.
Simple. That is a fact. Yeah.
We know that observing the rule of no sex until marriage can spare you 100 problems.
Yeah.
But there are people who started removing their clothes when they're in campus. I want you to always ask yourself, as a lady, ask yourself, how much cost should I pay when I get a kid with a person who we may not have a future with? How many explanations? How many negotiations? I ask you how many families you know from back home. There's always conflict because there's one child who does not belong to this man. There are men who are mature, they adopted the kid and you can't tell.
Yeah.
But there are also many men who the mother tried to separate, protecting this child too much. This one does not feel like. Stepchildren have become a source of conflict in many families. It's a societal problem. You can spare yourself by using your common Mackenzie ability.
Okay.
What is Mackenzie common sense? Think ahead. Think ahead. To the men, when you meet a lady who improves your life and you're better companions, and she has a child, adopt the child as if it were yours and be happy. One thing I was reasoning, I was telling guys, if I marry a girl who has a child, at least I'm happy my family will never be childless. This is an advantage. I'm starting with the +1. I will see the positive side of the story. You understand? If you meet a woman whom you connect deeply, she makes you think better, you flow so well, marry that girl because she's good for your soul, for your dreams, for your life. She'll push you forward. She'll make you fly. She's generous. She's kind. Now, this is where I have the fight with the men. They're marrying a woman who is older, has a child, toxic, dramatic, dishonest, chaotic. What is that? How many things under the card, under the table? Let's go back to our card.
Now that it is a negotiation.
Remember, so she's minus, older than you, minus, has a baby, minus, chaotic. One guy told me she comes there, breaks my thing, she's even trying to set my cars on fire. Remember, let's repeat this statement until men get it. Not every woman who is sweet sexually is good for marriage.
Thank you.
Men are using another thing to taste women. And it's very annoying. How much cost are you willing to pay for 5 minutes of heavy breathing? How much? How much cost? Why are you still with such a woman? She's not your daughter. She's not the only woman on earth. She's shady. She's dishonest. So, I know. You know, toxic relationships are very exhilarating sex. Paradoxically. Let me tell you the psychology.
Go ahead.
Toxic relationships are very sweet sex because it comes at a time of reconciliation.
Okay.
They usually come in from fight, then they have sex to come back together. So the guy is soothed ego because she offended, she held, and then she brought herself humbly. It feels good because it is in the midst of tension. It's like, if you ask most people who stayed in toxic relationships, they'll tell you because sex was good.
Yeah.
But it is good because of the strife going on. There's a very twisted psychology which I will take time to expound and find easier way to explain it. That those people who seem unstable, who seem, there's a historical, you can search Lola Montez. Lola Montez was a lady who ruined about 5 or 6 men in her lifetime. She was so chaotic. She was so toxic. But you see, when men seem to see troubled women, they feel a desire to calm her.
Yes.
To finally organize her, rehabilitate. All these are usually good men. Bad men, as I told you, they have no business mothering you, babysitting. Bad boys are, get out of here, you. You understand?
Yeah.
They're dismissive. But good men, second chance, patience, prayer. Good men, the Brahman Club. you know, people change, and with the patience and prayer and mentorship and, they convince dating and searching with parenting.
Yeah.
You should use those traits for your daughter. You see that good heart, patience, and mentorship?
Yes. I'll reserve it for my daughter.
When you're looking for the mother, please get a level-headed woman. Yeah. Of course, after you marry a woman, you also grow together, you help each other. But when you out here, take people as they are. Imagine they will never change. If she remains as she is she marriageable? If she loves growing, of course she will continue growing. If she hates growing, she will never grow.
Yeah.
Okay? So we are saying, first of all, how your friendships ruin your marriage is when, first of all, you have not minimum standards for who you interact with. I always ask these men, how did you end up involved in such a woman? Because you started sleeping with women carelessly.
Yeah.
Do you know how men ask for sex? As if they are being given something. Look at all local dialects. When they're asking for nipatie. So they imagine they're the ones in charge. Yeah. They have one, they're being given. Let me warn you. During the act, you may be on top. But in many cases, the one below is the one in charge.
Yes. Yeah.
Please understand this. Many men who are brought down by the women imagined they are in control of the situation. He has asked for things and he has been given. Brother, many times the man thinks he's in charge, he's in control. Like this boy, he's only 25. Started dating a woman who is, I don't know, 29. And I told you there's no problem if she's 5 years older than you. I said to you, there's no problem. As long as she is good for your soul. Okay? Yeah. Your friends, you connect so deeply. There's such harmony. Those women will build you in this life. And people will not even realize who is older than you. People will not even realize.
Yeah.
People, unless you tell them, they'll just see how happy you are, how successful you are. Okay? As I told you, don't negotiate twice. Don't give ground on more than 1 point.
Yes. Don't compromise more than.
Exactly. Once you realize this person, I have to take care of this daughter, then I enjoy it because the mother, man, good for my soul, good for my life. All right? And I keep telling girls who get children, I tell them the same message. Once you get a child, remember you can always find a good man to marry you. But he must have a good reason. Yes. Give him a reason. The best reason, a level-headed woman. You understand? In fact, I tell them, bringing up a child gives you experience that those girls who don't have a child cannot have.
Yes.
It's an evidence. You have a 5-year CV standing here. The kid is a 5-year proof of responsibility. In fact, I tell them, if you can take that, you can become so balanced that you beat other women hands down. That's how our late Bob Colimo married a lady with twins.
Yes.
And he was happy. There's no problem. Because the lady could think on his level. I keep telling them, once you get a kid, and I warned them the other day, brother, can you want this our little brother? I don't know. They say it casual. Started dating this guy. With the moment I was paged. Once you get a kid, now you have 2 journeys to go. When you don't have a kid, you still must grow and become balanced. Secure your finances. Secure your future. Grow mentally. Learn. When you don't have a kid, that is a journey in front of you, okay? Because no man will marry you just because you have good legs. Who are you going to eat the legs? Many of them just show legs and they have nothing else to show. They're just showing the watermelons and just like that. And they're just there. You can't even talk stories, just making faces. My name is Sweetie. Sweetie, who tasted you? Just tell me your name. They're just looking at how they... You have a journey to deepen your understanding. You have a responsibility to learn, to read, to study. Can you tell women the most beautiful pose is to find a girl reading on her own?
Yes.
On social media, not just sharing memes and entertainment, but learning. Do you know the best place to search as a man is to go to pages and see who is commenting sensibly?
True.
True. Brother, can you pay attention to comments? Especially relationship, marriage things. When you see a bitter, fierce creature, quietly pass by. Don't engage them. Some have a small mind and a big mouth. Simple ideas and a fierce energy. And they will roast you alive. Avoid battles that have no rewards. When they talk, be happy they have displayed their nature and spared you. Brother, differentiate the wolves from the lambs. Because social media is very anonymous. People display that because they think we can't see them.
Yes. Yes.
They shout, they curse. If I ever find you with a woman who is cursing, I'll also curse you. Make sure the woman you interact with at least qualifies as a friend.
Yeah.
Do you curse? What are you doing cursing people? Colossians says your words, your language should be seasoned with this salt.
Exactly.
Seasoned.
Yeah.
To bless those who hear. Not cursing and swearing. And I think that's why Christianity and being it's very hard in the West. Because they're full of cursing language.
Yeah.
Cursing. Polished. Remember, you're picking a mother for your children. Okay?
Yes. Your next generation.
That will be the main influencer.
Yes.
That's why who's drinking till she drop pierced everywhere. Would you imagine that being the mother to your children? No, brother, be practical.
Never.
Be practical. Tattoo here written Peter on the breast, and then the kid is breastfeeding looking at her tattoo. Yeah? Brother, can you please think about your children as you pick their mother?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And ask women to think about the children as they pick their father.
Thank you.
Be very... These things you don't... I told you, I have a safe space to say what you can't say. When you go to the field, don't mouth these things. No, you'll be blocked. Just put them in consideration in every decision. Quietly. Don't explain the reasons behind your decision. Just use it as a scorecard.
Yes.
Now, imagining that this being the mother to my children. Talking about, drink till you drop. Yes. No, drink till you drop. Okay, thank you. Let me drop the idea as well. You need to be very frugal.
Yeah.
Practical to the core. Self-loving, even selfish. Brother, start with yourself.
Yes.
Start with yourself. Okay? All right. I was telling you about how friendship, the other thing, friendships, the friendships will ruin your relationship when you're not ready to be a husband or wife. You just wanted the benefits that come with marriage, with having a person to serve you, to be at your beck and call, to be there for you. And when you sense a person was like that, don't bother with them. They are not ready to transform and remain and be married. And as I told you, in order to clarify your reasoning, keep sex for inside marriage, so that you can detach easily when need becomes, when there is need to detach. Another way your friends will keep you single, my friend. You never settle if you don't differentiate. This is because when you're dating, your friends were also searching. Okay? Sometimes if you find before them, they can be envious.
Yeah.
Can you tell girls when they're meeting their prospects to stop carrying other girlfriends?
Thank you.
There have been a lot of coup d'etats carried out. There have been a lot of swindlings carried out because, you see, when you come with another girl, you are allowing comparison.
Yes.
Tell them also not to post girlfriends on their social media. Don't post other men on your social media, even if it's your brother. People can tell. Yes. Let your social media be yours. During that time when you are dating, make your space yours. So tell women not to post babies. Even if you have a baby, we never marry a woman because she has a baby. We marry her despite having a baby. Can we go back to English? This English 101. You never see a kid and then look for the mother to marry them? Do you know that?
No.
No, I want this one to be my daughter. Where's your mother? We don't talk like that. It's the lady. So on social media, parade the lady. Women have 3 identities. The lady is the one who's working, showing up in places. The girl, the lady. The Judy. Then there's the wife, the mother. Those are other roles. But your identity, as I told you, remind them to maintain their social names throughout life.
Yeah.
All right? If you are Judy or Tieno, keep it Judy. Otieno. But as much as possible, not use the Otieno, use the Atieno. Use your two names. Use your two names because they are not arguable. Those are your two names. They are yours. But if you have already popularized your dad's name, it's okay. Or if your dad is a brand, maybe the daughter of TD Jakes, maybe she want to attach Jakes there to use it for other purposes, business, branding, and all that. But many people will be very comfortable just maintain their two names so they can carve their place in life. Be very careful also when you come from a powerful father. You can remain in his shadow for the rest of your life if you're not careful. People only, when they see you, they remember that person. They don't see you for who you are.
Yeah.
They measure you. Have you seen that's a problem with the pastor's kids and bishop kids?
True.
People evaluate the kid, but that's how they know the father.
Yes.
Oh, so even students or bishops do this. Surely, let the kid be a kid. Let them grow. All right?
Yeah.
That's why many of them just adopt their two names. And until they tell you that, and then when you realize this is son of the minister, you change your mind. Imagine if today if you're having a good chat with a certain girl, only to realize later, on one of our photos, Matiang'i is there. Yeah. You see on her status wishing dad happy birthday. And you're already getting excited. You know, you think twice. You think twice, my brother. So I encourage girls, people who come from powerful families, don't remain in the shadow of their parent.
Yeah.
Cover niche for yourself. And I'll teach my children that because I intend to build my name.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them, if you remain under me, my friend, you'll be shadowed. You'll be shadowed. You can carry the name if you wish.
Yes.
But please carve a place. Show your talent. Distinguish yourself. Be good at something. Let people like you for what you do. Not for who you are son of or daughter of. No. So many times I tell them, if you realize you're coming from, don't be lost in their shadow. Always distinguish yourself. Don't become rebellious. Distinguishing means becoming good at your thing. To rebel means to be against. Don't just start being against. In fact, use that parent's name or whatever to propel yourself. If your parent have built a business, surely use it to propel yourself. But always go in your direction. Of course, you can inherit, like Joel Osteen, the first Osteen was also a preacher. But you find that this new young Osteen, the son, has taken his own style. He may be doing the same career, but on a different, his personal style. He's not just trying to carry up after. So you can take the same career, but the style is very personal, very distinctive for your generation. You have carved it and you have learned from the older man, then adapted to your energy and your generation. That's what makes you way better. All right? So you realize friends can ruin your relationship if you bring them to your personal space so that you have to consult them and they have to give you an opinion on everybody showing interest in you. Yeah. Let me remind you, there's an element in your relationships that nobody else can see, even your friends. The chemistry. The chemistry between you and whoever you're talking to, Brahman, is invisible to me, to your mom, to whoever.
Yes.
It's only felt between the two of you. The reason people marry someone whom you would not have recommended. Have you ever seen somebody's and you're I would have recommended otherwise.
Actually, so many. If I was to be consulted,
it's because there's an element between them, the energy, the connection, the flow. There's something invisible to the world. Always remember that. There's something about you and your woman nobody else will ever understand.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I like that, Benjamin, the way you've actually broken down in a very deeper manner. You see, Benjamin, and we touched on this some time back, the element that is making so many marriages to break is because we refuse to transition.
Exactly.
You see, to become aware that indeed I'm a married person.
You're right.
To close those tabs that was open when I was single.
Exactly.
Closure of those tabs also zeroes down to my friends.
Exactly.
Because some friends are poisonous.
Very.
You see, when I am single, I am mingling with my single guys.
And among those, now thank you for bringing, among the single guys, we have some are wild.
Wild, true.
We know some are not exactly our type. We keep them around for fun. It's a friend of your friend. It's not directly your friend. It's a friend of your friend. And when every time you guys hook up, they always tag along. And they have these wild ideas. Wild. But because it's just boys, we enjoy the antics. Life is boring anyway. Bring one crazy guy, it's okay, we can entertain us. But when you get married, what happens? Those people, their ideas about your decisions, their comments about your woman, their attitude how they behave around family, how they respect the fact that you need family space. We still have men who I keep hearing that he tells me the woman has friends and the friends come and they sit late in the house.
Look at that.
The woman comes, the friend calls, they stay on call throughout. They go out there. There are women whose lifestyle is anti-family. They spend time out there and the girl is still clinging on to those other women.
Yes.
Or this guy has this boy who comes and they're laughing there until late, until people can't even sleep. If you cannot put these kind of boundaries and change your friendships when you get married, you should not get married.
Okay. Benjamin, now let us talk about these good ones now, these good guys now, our type. You see, we get married, then we tend to actually, your wife, my wife, we are together, you know each other, we form a clique.
Exactly,
you see,
exactly.
you know somebody else, we form a clique, we are in one WhatsApp group.
Yes.
You see, so we tend to do so many things together, we tend to carry activities together.
Yes.
But now, there is a place where pressure can actually come in as a result of wanting to run your home, just like Zulu is doing.
Exactly.
His. You see? So you will realize that maybe my wife will want to do what your wife does, just because of the pressure.
Exactly.
You see? How do you deal with that? Where do you draw the line, even when you're dealing with this good time?
Let me start by mentioning that one problem with good friends and how they can become interfering in relationships, because I think me and Pramela are friends, our women must be friends.
Yes.
It's not necessarily the case. I want us to allow our spouses to connect with whomever they can connect with. Naturally. Okay?
Yeah.
Me and Pramela have a way we connect from the way we see life.
Yeah.
From our history, from our jobs, from how we journeyed through life. Your woman has other women they connect with from the way they think, their interest. I decided earlier on in life, from seeing good things ruin marriages, that I will never impose. I'll only, of course, when you're going for couple functions, we go together. But that's a function. That does not have to be friendship. You understand? I will never expect that she hangs out in the same places I'm hanging out. That freed me a lot. That I can tell her I'm going to be so-and-so. She can tell me she's with so-and-so. She can travel up country to go visit a certain girl. They spend there, maybe come tomorrow or something like that. But I don't have to be friends with the husband to the girl. Okay? We are acquainted. I just know it's the husband to my wife's friend. You understand? The same thing will happen with your children. Don't expect that because you are couples, your children must be
friends.
They may not flow.
Yeah.
They may not flow. And that's why people even come to propose you and so can make a good couple. You start proposing because you think they look nice. But looking is different from feeling. Let me remind you the following that. Good friendships interfere with marriage when we forget that chemistry may not be the same among partners as among us. Allow people to connect. If they happen to flow or if their connection is just shallow, let it remain there.
Yeah. And I like that, Benjamin. You see, Benjamin, the other thing is you'd realize that most marriages have been ruined by this kind of friendship you're talking about. Now, people fall back because of history, Benjamin.
Exactly.
And people carry along people because of history.
Exactly.
I have been with Benjamin for the last 20 years. You see?
Exactly.
Now that I've transitioned to the other side of being married, you see, I feel leaving Benjamin, it won't be nice.
Exactly.
We have been together for so long.
You're right.
Some people don't have a gift of goodbye, Benjamin.
And you know, sometimes you don't have to leave fully. You just adjust so that your marriage now comes first.
Yeah.
When there's need for marriage, you rush there. I'll catch up with my friend later. Have you realized true friends don't need to talk daily?
Yeah.
They don't need to talk daily. In fact, to the contrary, they can tell you, let me attend here, I'll text you back. I'll call you. Then they'll call back 3 days later. And there's no beef. You know, they're doing life, you're doing life. Friends who understand each other don't need to force things. They go with the flow. Now, you know this. You know a relationship needs to be ended when your values have changed so much that you cannot have conversations in a meaningful manner. If your conversations are no longer facing the same direction, if you're no longer having harmony, if you're no longer agreeing, if you're no longer thinking alike, end that friendship with finality.
All right, there you have it, guys. End that relationship or friendship with a finality. There you have it. Make a choice. Benjamin has done his part. So I have. Thank you. Thank you for watching Benjamin Zulu Show.